how much more experience that gives you over other players coming in, right? So people say, dang, like he or she's killing them. But you have a 25-year-old playing against a 20-year-old. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's not to take anything away from what she's done, but if you're talking about breaking records, then if this player did it in this amount of time, then you should do it in that same amount of time.
Caitlin Clark's taking the WNBA by storm, but some legends are throwing shade. Sheryl Swoopes just got fired for it. Rachel DeMita's not holding back. It's getting messy in women's basketball. Want to know why? Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Let's talk about Caitlin Clark's rookie season. This girl is on fire. She's averaging 25 points per game. That's insane for a rookie. The Indiana Fever went from bottom of the barrel to actually winning games. Clark's not just playing, she's dominating. Fans are going wild for her. Every game, the arena's packed. People can't get enough of Clark's three-pointers and no-look passes. She's breaking records left and right and bringing new life to the WNBA. But you know what's crazier? Not everyone's happy about Clark's rise to fame. Some big names in women's basketball are salty about all this Caitlin Clark hype. And trust me, it's about to get real messy. You won't believe what happens next. Remember when I said some big names were salty about Clark? Well, one WNBA legend just took it to a whole new level. How far would you go to avoid saying someone's name? For Sheryl Swoopes, it's like Clark became Voldemort. Let's talk about Sheryl Swoopes for a sec. This woman's a three-time WNBA MVP and Hall of Famer. When she talks basketball, people listen. But her latest comments, they're causing a storm. Swoopes went after Caitlin Clark's scoring records. She's saying they're not legit because Clark had an extra year to play due to COVID-19. Here's what Swoopes said. If Kelsey Plum set that record in 4 years, well, Caitlin should have broke that record in 4 years. So is it truly a broken record? I don't know. I don't think so.
This isn't just for Caitlin, but you asked me about Caitlin. If you're going to break a record, to me, if it's legitimate, you have to break that record in the same amount of time that that player set it. Yeah, that'll go in the record books as Caitlin Clark is the all-time, whatever it is. I don't even know what the number is, but that's the way it'll be. And I don't think it should be.
But that's not even the craziest part. During broadcast, Swoopes was pulling a Harry Potter move. You know how they never say Voldemort's name? Well, Swoopes was doing that with Clark. Rachel DeMita called her out on it, saying, it's like Caitlin Clark is the Voldemort if Sheryl Swoopes was Harry Potter. Like literally, she cannot say Caitlin Clark's name. Fans aren't having it. They're calling Swoopes jealous of Clark's fame. DeMita even said Swoopes was Caitlin Clark's #1 hater. Ouch. And get this, Swoopes claimed Clark takes 40 shots a game. But here's the thing, Clark's actually averaging around 22.7 shots. That's not even close. It's like Swoopes is seeing a different game than the rest of us. The backlash was intense. Social media blew up defending Clark. Even other basketball legends jumped in. Nancy Lieberman called out Swoopes for not giving Clark her props. You'd think a legend like Swoopes would be all about supporting new talent. Instead, she's stirring up drama. Is this just about records, or is there something deeper going on? You thought the drama was over? Think again. Just when the Caitlin Clark controversy was heating up, another voice joined the fray. Rachel DeMita, a former Division I player turned media personality, stepped into the ring. And let me tell you, she didn't hold back. So who's Rachel DeMita? If you're into basketball, you've probably seen her hosting NBA 2K TV. She's got the skills on the court and the smarts off it. When Rachel talks hoops, people listen. At first, DeMita was actually defending Swoopes, but then something changed. She noticed how Swoopes was acting during a broadcast, and it set her off. DeMita called out Swoopes for straight up refusing to say Caitlin Clark's name. It was like Clark had become basketball's Voldemort. DeMita didn't mince words. She said, here's once again another example of Sheryl Swoopes hating Caitlin Clark so much that she can't even literally say her name. Ouch, that's not just shade, that's a full-on eclipse. But Rachel wasn't done. She pointed out how weird it was for Swoopes to completely ignore Clark's impact on the Indiana Fever. I mean, come on, the team's gone from bottom feeders to actually winning games. How do you not mention the player making that happen? Here's where DeMita really hit the nail on the head. She said veterans like Swoopes shouldn't feel threatened by rising stars like Clark. Instead, they should be celebrating their success. It's like, why tear down the next generation when you can lift them up? DeMita's comments lit a fire under basketball fans. Social media exploded with people backing her up. It wasn't just fans. fans either. Players were getting in on the action too. Everyone was praising DeMita for speaking out against Swoopes' attitude. But Rachel wasn't just defending Clark. She was calling out a bigger problem in women's sports. She pointed out how male athletes get celebrated for their achievements, but female athletes often face criticism. It's like, why can't we just appreciate talent, regardless of gender? DeMita's take on the whole situation became a turning point. She wasn't just another commentator, she became a voice for the new generation of basketball fans and players. People were looking at her as someone who wasn't afraid to challenge the old guard. DeMita's words echoed through the basketball world, but they weren't the last we'd hear on this drama. The WNBA was listening too, and they were about to make a move that would leave everyone speechless. What decision did they make that turned this whole situation upside down? Sheryl Swoopes just got fired from her broadcasting job. Yeah, you heard that right. The WNBA legend, 3-time MVP, and Hall of Famer is out. Why? Those controversial comments about Caitlin Clark came back to bite her. The WNBA didn't waste any time. They replaced Swoopes with Nancy Lieberman and Ron Thulin for the next game. Talk about a quick switch. It's like they're sending a message. We're not here for the drama, we're here for the game. This isn't just about Swoopes losing a job, it's the WNBA drawing a line in the sand. They're saying, hey, we support our rising stars. We're not gonna let anyone, even a legend, tear them down. It's a bold move that's got everyone talking. Swoopes tried to backpedal. She said, I made a mistake. She even claimed she reached out to Clark through Angel Reese. Swoopes said she respects Clark's game and what she's doing for women's basketball. But was it too little, too late? Here's the thing. Swoopes' comments weren't just about Clark. They highlighted a bigger issue in women's basketball. There's this tension between the old guard and the new stars. It's like some veterans feel threatened by the new talent instead of celebrating it. The WNBA's decision to fire Swoopes? That's them saying, we're not having it. They're protecting their image and their future stars. It's a clear message. If you're going to be part of the WNBA family, you better play nice. But let's be real, this situation is messy. On one side, you've got a legend who's done so much for the game. On the other, you've got this exciting new talent who's bringing in fans and attention. How do you balance respecting the past and embracing the future? Swoopes' firing is going to have ripple effect. Other commentators and former players, they're probably thinking twice about what they say now. The WNBA's showing they're serious about keeping things positive and supportive. But here's a question. Is this the right move? Sure, Swoopes' comments were out of line, but firing her? That's huge. Some fans are cheering, saying it's about time. Others are worried it's too harsh. They're asking if there was a better way to handle this. Whoa, talk about drama in the WNBA. This Caitlin Clark situation is wild. It's not just about one player anymore. It's like a full-on battle between the old school and the new kids on the block. Think about it. You've got legends like Swoopes feeling threatened by rising stars like Clark, but should they be? Isn't there room for everyone to shine? Here's the thing. The WNBA needs both its legends and its new talent. Without the pioneers, we wouldn't have the league we have today. But without fresh faces like Clark, how's the league supposed to grow? So what do you think? How can the WNBA honor its past while still hyping up its future? Can legends and rookies share the spotlight, or does one have to step back for the other to shine? Let me know what you think in the comments.